Well, some of you are not going to like what we have to say, but coming up on this podcast, we're going to talk about how exercise messes with your head. Stay tuned for that. This highly controversial podcast. We're going to explain. Stay tuned.
I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening.
Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer, and this is going to be a controversial one. Well, you know, I got to give you credit, sis. You came up with this one, and it is so good. We talk about this all the time, but today we're going to talk about how exercise messes with your head. Whoa.
I had to write it down because I don't want to forget. At the time of this recording, Cristy, one of my VIP clients is a postal worker. Rain or shine, snow or hail or thunder or whatever they're saying is, she walks about, she said 10 to 15 miles a day. That's a lot of walking, but I believe it. That's what they do on those routes. So I believe her. And yet she still has a weight problem. And she said to me the other day, she's still in weight loss mode. And she made this comment about, I walk so much. I decided to start doing some workouts, and then it totally messed with her head and got her turned around backwards with weight loss. And she had to stop, reevaluate, talk to me, and get back on the right track. And this is what made me think about this podcast. And she said it was okay for me to use her name. I have it written down. Her name is Katrina. Katrina, you know I love you, but you inspired this podcast today talking about how exercise messes with your head. Now, by the way, Cristy and I both exercise. Cristy exercises a little bit more than me.
Cari, I have received I screenshotted them. I'm going to hold them up right here, but I'm not going to hold them up too long. I screenshotted 2 messages. I haven't even told you about this yet, sis. It says, is your message for Code Red changing? This is someone called, well, I won't even say who it is. I don't want to give them any whatever. Is your message with Code Red changing? I've been following you for years, and your message started off with sleep, water, and real food, but now you stream extremely focused and extremely skinny, by the way. No, I'm not. I'm lean. There's a difference. Working out to drop daily and fashionable. I don't know. I don't understand that, but has your brand and message changed? And then I didn't reply, and they said again, I thought your message was no pills, no shakes, no exercise, because now you're killing yourself in the gym. So is that what I have to do? Guys, listen, I ended up having to block this person because this just kept going on and on and on. They created a new account. They've got no followers, no posts. So this is just someone who created an account in order to message me. I'm not going to do that. Let's get this out of the way. We've talked about it a million times for the past 11 years. Exercise is not a way to address a weight problem. Okay, I was a fat athlete. We've beat this dead horse. Right now, I am training for a bodybuilding comeback for my Netflix documentary. So I'm on a different route. Let's just get that out of the way. Also, number 2, Code Red does not hate exercise. We don't tell people to not exercise. We don't tell people to stop exercising. We only say it's not a way to address your weight problem.
I think it's really important. I'm really glad you brought this up about this Instagram message, because I do think that it is a little bit confusing for people that have been watching your journey. Yeah. But let's just say that Cristy was going to go do downhill skiing in the Olympics, and she started on a certain type of eating and exercise program. That's all she's done, guys. Like, so don't let this get in your head. She's just has a goal. Like if she were an Olympic gymnast, or if she were going to go in a regional rowing contest, or if she were going to go to the CrossFit games. It's just that you guys don't know about or aren't maybe privy to all the information, everything having to do with her bodybuilding competition. She's an athlete that's preparing for a competition. So no, what Cristy is doing is not what you should do to lose weight. What Cristy is doing is not what you should do for exercise. It's not what I do. It's not what all the rest of our rebels do. She is a professional or an amateur bodybuilder, athlete preparing for a competition. So I so appreciate you bringing this up, because I do think it has caused a lot of confusion with people. Not your fault, just because people see you eating and looking different and all that.
Well, I hope they don't see me eating, because I'm trying to navigate. I'm trying to navigate this whole thing. Like, I want to share my journey with the world. And I want to bring recognition to my upcoming film, but I didn't want it to damage the Code Red message and damage the Code Red brand.
Right.
And I just assumed you would come to me and tell me if you thought it was, and I could back off of the posting. But right. I've been trying to navigate this, because I guess, has it been confusing you? This is why we're talking about this. And I tell you what, even as much as I exercise, it messes with my head as well. As far as what you might be wondering, what do you mean messes with my head? Trying to get out of the nutrition rules, thinking we earned more than what we did.
Right. And I just want to say one more thing about you is that yes, you look different than you did before you started this journey. But also, this is something specialized. I really think people need to get that through their head, is that you can lose all the weight you want through Code Red. If you want to build muscle and become an amateur, a contestant level bodybuilder, you have to do what Cristy's doing. But if you want to just lose weight, look great, fit into your clothes, feel good about yourself, regain your health, you're not going to do what Cristy is doing. So I don't think you've done anything wrong. I just think people in their brains, everyone wants, even when you first started, I was like, oh, well, maybe if I do what Cristy's doing, I'll be able to, well, yeah, if you do exactly what she's doing, but this is not the life for everyone, you guys. There is a very specific personality that can be a professional athlete. It's a very specific personality profile that can be a bodybuilder. It's a miserable life. If any of you guys think that Cristy's having a raw fun time, that she's eating pancakes at Elmer's, she is not. This is not that kind of life. I have way more freedom in my eating than Cristy does. Code Red offers you way more freedom. So I think I'm glad we're talking about it, but I don't think you've done anything wrong. People they're always looking for the easy fix, Cristy. If you told them you were taking eating eyeballs of freshly harvested from a salmon, they would start eating that if they thought they could look like you. It's just the nature of humans. But even Cristy, with all her exercise, she let that exercise get to her brain and kind of start to screw with it one time. And I think we talked about it on another podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, I have done some let me give you an idea of the volume of exercise I'm doing and how it still doesn't make a hill of beans difference if my diet's not perfect. Right now, I was just talking to the coaches about this, sis. Right now, I'm doing 30 minutes of cardio in the morning, an hour of weightlifting, then 15 minutes of HIIT cardio, which means I have to do like some sprints on the treadmill for 15 minutes. Then I have to walk. Are you ready for this? 9 miles for the day. 9 miles of walking around downtown Boise, or any kind of walking. I can go to the mall. I can go anywhere. I can be, and then before bed, I have to do another 30 minutes of cardio, like sweating, like dripping off sweating. That's an enormous amount of volume, but guess what? I don't get to change my intake. My coach, you're probably like, what are you doing? It's just what we're doing, getting ready for the stage. But even all that volume does not earn me one single biscuit from Elmer's.
Yep. No, it doesn't. And here's what happens. Okay. Cause let me just explain to you that before I lost the weight, I'm not even making this up. Like, I straight up ran on the treadmill. I would run 5 little miles. I didn't run them fast, Cristy. My knees hurt, my hips hurt, because I was running at anywhere between 250 to 270 pounds, which is really hard on your body. But I would get done and then go get a big Diet Coke and eat a couple of granola bars, because this is how exercise messes with your head. It makes you think you've done more than you have. And so we get into this cycle of deserve. we get into this cycle of deserve it. And even Cristy
And
being
earned.
the creator, earned and deserved. Even though Cristy is the creator and the founder and the El Jefe and the genius behind Code Red, even she got into this with a stupid bag of popcorn one time. So it's really easy to fall into the trap of exercise. Let me just say, I exercise 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week. I love the gym. It has done a lot to change my body, to change my self-confidence, to change how strong I am. Picking up and hauling bales of hay around, not a big deal. You know what I mean? Buckets of grain. I picked up a goat the other day, hauled it into the barn. So I'm a lot stronger. But guys, I exercised hard before I lost my 100 pounds, and it didn't make a difference. So it gets in your head if you choose to try to do Code Red and HIIT workouts, Code Red and run on your treadmill, Code Red, and I'm going to go to Orange Theory, Code Red, and because of a little bit good, then a lot must be better, I'm going to go hit CrossFit 5 mornings a week. It is going to mess with your head, and you are going to end up spinning circles. We have seen it, Cristy, how many times? Time and time and time and time again.
Yeah. And I hiked in May of 2021. I hiked rim to rim of the Grand Canyon. It was an incredible feat. It was 26 miles and 6,600 feet of climbing. It took me 9 hours. I was the first one out of the canyon. I was really proud. I was also 25 pounds overweight. I guess 25 pounds heavier than what I am right now. And I burned, because I tracked from the start until the finish, 3,500 calories. Well, 3,500 calories, that happens to be the amount of 1 pound of fat. So you're telling me if some of you that have 100 pounds to lose, some of you guys have 50 pounds to lose, you got to hike the Grand Canyon 50, 60, 70, 100 times in order to lose 100 pounds. Your knees most of you wouldn't even be able to get halfway across, or even a quarter of, or even your knees can't handle that. You're physically unable to, that is physically impossible to do that. So the mathematics doesn't add up to try to use exercise as a way to address your weight problem.
But Cristy, people still hit the gym along with doing their macros from Code Red. And what does it get you? Somebody write it below. What it gets you? It gets you hungry. It gets you hungry. Now, I love exercise, but I will tell you that I'm hungrier when I work out harder. I am hungry. And so I believe that you can exercise. You should exercise, but do not get it in your brain that it's going to get you any special favors, that it's going to get you an extra granola bar, that it's going to get you extra Code Red food. And so what happens is, Cristy, at least for me being a pretty heavy person that worked out, is I would be like, well, I'm strong. And I was strong, still overweight. Well, I did this, so I deserve, or I earned this. Or Cristy, well, I'm just turning muscle into fat, which is impossible, but whatever. I'm gaining muscle. That's why my weight is going up. How many times do we hear that? I'm gaining muscle. People don't realize I don't want to be too muscular. Oh, I got to be careful with working out. Trust me, look what Cristy's doing, and she's not too muscular. It's really hard. So these are the reason I'm mentioning it is that these are the lies we start to tell ourselves when you go to the gym. Again, I love the gym, but when you are obese and you try to go to the gym and it starts messing with your head, these are the lies I hear people tell me all the time. So one lady, really quick, her weight went up. I said, why? And she goes, I've been riding 10 miles on my bike at night. Why? Because I thought maybe it would help me. And I'm like, oh gosh, bless us. Like, you're not making any progress, ma'am. You're not.
If it was helping you, we wouldn't see some of the most obese people at CrossFit class. In fact, some of the most obese athletes I've ever seen are cyclists. And Miles and I, when I was married to Miles, yes, you've never seen anything like it, sis. When I was married to Miles, we would go on group rides, and Miles and I rode our road bikes all over the world. And when we switched to mountain biking, and we rode through the Dolomites in Italy, we've ridden our mountain bikes everywhere as well. Anytime I've ever been in a cycling group, you really want to cycle. If you're going to road ride, you want to cycle with other people, because it makes you a more formidable group. It's like a little beehive, going down the road, and you're less likely to get hit by a car. So we would cycle in groups, and you could get a group of anywhere from 5 people to 55 people. And most of them in that group will be not just overweight, but obese. And yet they ride and ride. They can do 100 miles on their road bike and still be obese. Tell me, like, how is that mathematically possible? I know personally, when I was doing 100 miles, I'd always ride 100 miles on Saturdays. I would burn 5,000 calories, but I was still 174 pounds and acting like I'm a thick girl. I was fat, sis. How is that possible?
So tell me also what kind of snacks and stuff they give you on those bike rides when you stop. Because I love this.
When we would do a charity bike ride, which is a sponsored event, you'd pay and you'd raise money for, the Idaho Center for the Blind or different organizations and stuff. And so they would have what's called SAG, SAG, SAG stops. It stands for support and gear or something like that, and so you would have SAG stops. They would have a bathroom there. They would have food there and water in case you needed to fill up your water bottle. And we would stop. Oh my gosh, sis. Rice Krispie bars. I remember I was on a ride in the Oahe Canyon, and I made myself sick on Rice Krispie bars because I love those, and I overate them. And what was it doing? I was in my mind. I was like, I'm riding 100 miles. I can eat whatever I want. And I was so sick, and I gained weight after that ride. They would have everything you can imagine: cookies, crackers, muffins, bananas, chocolates, anything goes on these rides because you're riding so hard. And yet almost everybody on these rides is overweight and or obese. And they would have Gatorade with the full sugar. They would have candies, anything you can stick in your pocket of your cycling kit. I mean, and then you would just eat it as you would go. I mean, you're packing on more than you're burning, and you're breathing hard. And I know athletes, I know what you're talking about. You're throwing up a 195 overhead snatch, and you're thinking, yeah, like, let's go out to Elmer's. I earned this. And you're dying. You're throwing up some heavy weight. You're deadlifting a 405, and you're sprinting back and forth. You're on the wind bike. You're on the assault bike. You're on the rowing machine. You're lifting, you're slinging around kettlebells, and you're in your mind, you're thinking you earned it, and you thinking you burned. You didn't burn as much as you think. You're not carrying as much muscle as you think. It's not what you think. And 2 scoops of peanut butter, sis, will get back 2 scoops of peanut butter out of off the spoon, out of the jar in my cupboard, even the good kind, will get me back the same amount of calories that I burn on my run with Hazel every single morning. So guys, it's not what you think.
What I find really interesting, Cristy, is that in my class of the ladies I teach, almost all of them have a weight problem. And I'm not talking bad about any of them. And I don't care that they're there with a weight problem, because I want them to be strong. I want them to not lose shoulder functioning, hip functioning, not being obese. Of course, not having a weight problem would help that a lot as well, but they're there. They are at the gym for different reasons. So I'm okay with that. But if that were the answer, none of them would have a weight problem. I know somebody who runs a certain amount of miles every single day without fail, rain or shine, has a pot belly. So calories and intake and the combination of what kind of food you're taking in daily is important. And let me just say it again, because someone's going to nasty email us. I love working out. I love working out. Cristy loves working out. We both believe in working out. We do. But if you choose to do it during weight loss mode, that's okay with us. But keep in mind, listen, you're going to be hungrier, number one. And number two, be so aware of this deserve and earned mindset that will come to haunt you down. It does it to me every single day after class, Cristy. I think I should get honey roasted peanuts. And I don't need any of that crap. Just because I taught a 30-minute class, it still comes for me. So you just need to know that if you're going to work out during weight loss mode, you're going to be hungry. You just need to know that. And number two, be careful of the mindset. Be so careful of that deserve and earned mindset that it'll invade your thoughts. And it's not your fault. If you're aware of it, because we've seen some people go through the program that worked out the whole time, haven't we, Cristy?
Mm-hmm. but
not very many.
They know that you can't even go one single calorie over your budget of your calorie budget. Not even one. It's like that meth commercial. Not even once. You can't even go over one. Not even one.
Not even I'm talking about that meth commercial. That reminds me of this fentanyl. You take one fentanyl and you are with Jesus. That is it. So not even don't even touch a fentanyl, kids. Any kids listening to me, Anne-Marie and I had to talk about that. When you said not even one, I was like, not even a half of one.
I don't even know what a fentanyl even looks like.
Well, I do now because they keep coming in dead to the ER. Like a Narcan. But sorry, that just reminded me. Not even once. It's just not so dangerous. One. Yeah.
We've had a handful of people that have been able to navigate it.
Yes,
but it has been, it's my least favorite client that comes through Code Red because they want to freaking argue with me. And I'm so glad that I've got the authority in this area to be able to say, like, when weight loss surgery survivors come in through the program, they want to argue. I just go, nope, talk to Cari because you're not going to be able to argue with her. When athletes come through our program who are 60, 20, 40, 60 pounds overweight, they just send them right to me because they can't argue with me and they want to argue. Oh, Lordy, they want to argue. And I want to say, hey, Karen, has it worked for you? If it's worked for you, then why are you obese? And I don't even want, why'd you even spend the money and come here? So, and Cari, I just recently had one of my VIP clients, her husband constantly contradicts and argues with me, like not me directly to my face, but because she listens to my videos out loud, he's always saying, you just need to exercise. You just need to exercise because he exercises. So one day on a video on one of our meetings, our VIP meetings, I asked her, is your husband overweight? Does he have a little belly? And she said, yeah, he is. I was like, and he's trying to F around and tell me and trying to argue with me. And you're not even fit. Unless you're in better shape than me, keep your pie hole shut.
Well, now that's going to be harder, Cristy. That might have been a possibility for a couple people a couple months ago, but now ain't nobody looking better than you. It's a good thing the standard is if you look better than Cari, good thing we're not using me. Let's use you. I still got that juicy booty. Okay. So I want to talk about exercise and talking about, you need to think of it. I love the way Cristy describes this. If you are considering doing Code Red and you work out, I want you to think of it like pregnancy. Okay. Cristy hasn't had babies. I've had enough babies for all of us. When you have a baby, when you walk into your OB's office and you're pregnant, they ask you questions like, are you exercising? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? So if you are already pregnant, and you have been exercising, you go to CrossFit, you ride your bike, you walk every day, you do whatever, maintain that. So same thing. If you come into Code Red and you are already doing these things and you want to keep doing them for mental health or just for your own, like some people need that endorphin, they need that release, they need to go to the gym, it's for mental health. I would never tell anyone to stop. So same thing. But when you get pregnant is not the time, the first 10 weeks of pregnancy, to start an exercise program. That is not the right time to do it. So same advice goes for weight loss. If you're already doing it, we're okay. You just need to understand the caveats. If you aren't doing it, this is not the time to stop. Now, let me just say, Cristy, because somebody's going to say something. Do I believe you should move your body every day? Lord have mercy. Yes, you've got to move it, move your body, get up, walk around, stretch, take a walk around the block. Wouldn't you say, Cristy?
Oh, movement is not exercise. And
yes,
of course we want you to move your body. I mean, sitting is the new smoking, and we don't go to the mailbox and go walk your dog. And like, you need to get out and move. That's not exercise at all. That's just making sure you don't get a blood clot.
Well, yeah, but people will be sitting on their couch eating their Code Red food and their husband be like, can you walk down to the mailbox with me? And they're going to say, no, because Cristy Code Red says I can't exercise.
Sis, one of my rebels said, but my husband walks 20,000 steps a day. And I said to her, we were actually in person. I said, so then why is he overweight? And I looked at her and I just sat there. Like, and she was like, oh. Exactly. Nobody can answer that. Nobody can answer that. Like, the CrossFitters try to say this, cyclists try to say this to me. They're like, then why are you overweight? If it worked, why are you overweight? So you can't argue with us on this. You do not get to change your home study program because you do Orange Theory. I do not care. One of our rebels used to be in maintenance. She had lost 130 pounds on Code Red. She had gained back 30 so far that I know about. And she said, can I do the 5K with you guys in maintenance group or whatever? I don't know. And I said, no, you're not in maintenance group. You don't get to participate in our maintenance stuff. And she said, but I still do my 5K every day. Well, I mean, that's fine if you want to do that, but why did you gain back 30 pounds if that 5K was like, so guys, come on. Exercise is not a way to address the weight problem. It's not going to help you. Do it for the million other reasons. It will not help you lose weight, and you don't get to change your custom program numbers if you're doing any kind of exercise. That's not movement though.
Okay. So we had another rebel that left us, sadly. I'm just telling you. Oh, it breaks my heart. I can't even think about it, Cristy. It makes me want to cry. Anyway, they maintained and they were exercising. They had just this smoking hot. I would have traded them in a heartbeat. They looked amazing.
Smoking hot
body. Anyway, she was beautiful, and she went away from Code Red, and she wrote to Cristy a while after it happened. And she said, I'm doing a bodybuilding diet, but was clearly gaining a lot of weight, because it doesn't work unless you have all the components. Yeah, I want to do Cristy's bodybuilding program because I want to eat oatmeal all day. Yeah, it sounds good to me. But you can't pick the oatmeal and not go to the gym 4 hours a day. So it's a balance, but I'm saying it's balance. Yeah, it's a balance for what Cristy's doing. I'm just saying this person walked away from Code Red, walked away from their principles, said they were going hard in the exercise. So some 20-year-old at the gym told them, well, I got a plan for you. Here's my Xerox copy that I got offline from Googling it, gave it to them, and they were gaining weight like crazy. But I'm sure they thought, I'm gaining muscle, which of course, again, is a big lie. Again, Cristy and I want you to exercise. We want you to move. We are not against it. It's just that it gets in your head and it starts to screw with your head to the point where you can't make good choices. And then you start down this rabbit trail of being around people that are heavy, being around people that are strong. Everyone makes excuses. Everyone says, but we're getting stronger, but we're heavier, but we're thick girls, but we're muscular, but we. And that is how you will head right down the wrong path. And you absolutely will end up upside down in this program. And that's why we did this podcast. We don't want exercise to mess with your head so much that you end up upside down and then having to go back to square one.
You know how much actual muscle I've gained over the past 7 months of bodybuilding? Hard.
I would like to know this.
I know the exact number. Hard 5 days a week, but I work out 7 days a week.
Okay.
Guess, you want to take a guess how much muscle I've actually gained?
Well, you've lost about over 20 pounds. I'm going to guess that you gained 10 pounds of muscle, but that's a lot of muscle. Maybe it's 5. I don't know.
3 pounds.
That's 3?
3 pounds of
you
muscle.
You had to work that. Oh, I'm done. I'm going to eat Oreos. I'm teasing.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's just amazing how I'm telling you, listener, rebel, I love you. I do. Cari and I love you. You have not gained muscle. No. You have not gained. You guys don't even know what I've had to go through to gain 3 pounds of muscle in 7 months of hardcore 7 days a week of training and extremely strict dieting. 3 pounds of muscle, guys. So I can promise you, when you come through the program and you're like, I'm a thick girl and I got a lot of muscle and I gain muscle easily. No, you don't, Karen. No, you do not. It's very difficult for women to gain muscle. We're not built for it. We are not men. I don't care what you identify with. If you were born a woman, then you are going to have a hard time putting on muscle because that's not the way we were created. We were created for childbearing. It's very difficult. We don't have the testosterone levels. It takes a long time and very, very strategic protocol training and a lot of hard work 7 days a week to do it. And look at what I've done, 3 pounds.
Cristy, I was especially made for childbearing. I'm just saying. I don't know about you, but I could pop out babies like no problem. Just like line them up. Let's go. Oh, this is awesome, Cristy. I'm so glad we talked about this because I feel like this is such a taboo topic that no one wants to talk about. And we love working out. We just don't want you to get upside down in your thinking when it comes to working out. And that is why we did this podcast. I think this is so timely, Cristy.
Yeah, you have to trust me and Cari and the program and the coaches. You have to understand that we've been there, we've done that. We understand. We've had hundreds of thousands of people come through the program, people who've bought the book, people who have done you need to understand that we get it. We've been there where you are, but you cannot cherry pick the program. You can't try to argue your way out of it. If you're going to come on Code Red and you're going to argue with me, go somewhere else, because I am the authority when it comes to getting weight off of athletes. I understand. I am an athlete. I get it. I've been a fat athlete. Now I'm not. And I've gone through the process and I realize even more that it is all diet and it applies to you. And we want to help you in this area, but man, you got to have this screwed on straight if this is going to work for you. Any last thoughts, sis?
Yeah, you cannot bicycle your way to extra Code Red almonds. That's all I'm saying.
Bicycle. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I tried to do that too. I rode 300 miles a week on my road bike and I still was really fat and very sick. I had massive IBS. I had acne. I had rosacea. It was just not good. So I've been there where you are. And the only thing that cured me was Code Red. So we hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I'm Cristy Code Red, and thank you for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you want to stay connected to other rebels like you, join us in our private network. Our Code Red app is a one-stop shop, free from ads, algorithms, and censorship, and a place where you can see, listen, and watch everything Code Red. You'll be encouraged, motivated, and fired up to stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Get recipe ideas, tips, tricks, and help from coaches, mentors, and other rebels. You can also purchase products, programs, and coaching all right there in one place. And if you have any trouble navigating the app, we're right there to help you. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/APP to join for free. And I'll see you on the next episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle.